We look, ideally, we want a 10-year recapture rate. We discussed earlier the 1% rule. That's nice. You have to know there are differences between commercial and residential. Excuse me, residential, they just want to pay rent and they're fixing everything. Commercial, normally triple net, so we're looking at the tenant paying taxes, insurance, and fixing anything when it breaks. Sometimes there's exceptions for roof or HVAC, but stark differences between commercial and residential. We mentioned before a 1-month vacancy. I love the fact when I have a landlord that is stuck on a price that they want to get for rent, and they have to get $1,200 a month. We get an offer for $1,150 a month. They say no way. It stays vacant for another month. They just lost 8.3%. So they could have 1 month vacancy, 8.3% on their annual income. You got to really know your numbers. It's super, super important. Fluctuations happen in the market. It's part of the math. There is some softness as far as time of year is concerned. Right now we're in November, December. Guess what? People don't like to move during Thanksgiving or Christmas. So you just have to be aware of those school years. When a school year starts, going to have an impact of when to rent something. So you just need to be aware of all your numbers, and you can't ignore them. You can't say, I really like this property. It's so pretty. I know it's going to appreciate. You can't be influenced by that stuff. You have to look at the raw data and stick firm to your own rules.
And as far as property sitting vacant, largely in Chatham, that's not been the case.
Right.
Time of year, I'm sitting on one right now that, in all honesty, I believe to be the nicest property I have and centrally located, but it's around Thanksgiving. And Eric had, in fact, told me you're going to likely sit on this to January. I honestly didn't take that into account. The numbers, it's $2,000, that I'm going to lose over 2 months of not renting it, and that's unfortunate. But, the numbers are there. When I added up at the end of the day, that was something I should have taken into consideration. Again, it's not a killer, but time of year is a big deal. If you get into October and you're looking at buying a property, you need to know that you're not probably going to rent it until after Christmas. If you're renting family houses, a 3-bedroom house, those are people with kids. You're probably not going to rent that out in April and May because the shift is going to come in June when the kids get out of school. Mm-hmm. And so it's things like that, and you see the patterns emerge, and obviously it's there. So, taking that into account with numbers is a big deal. But also, one of the things that we've laughed about is someone is wanting to sell me a house, and they're like, I have this great house on 3 acres. Well, the 3 acres means nothing if you can't have 3 houses on it. We're not interested in how big the lot is. It's how many houses will it hold, because no one's going to pay extra for the 2 acres of woods in the back. And so the temptation to buy a nice wooded lot exists, but as rental income property, it doesn't help you. Mm-hmm. And so, I have a huge affection for a big lawn. Sure. And so I mow the lawns, and I like to go out there. If it's got a large flat lawn, I call it mowable. And that doesn't, the fact that it pleases me is irrelevant. It doesn't add to the rental value. And so stick to what matters. Is the house nice? Where is it located? What condition is it in? And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Never be bent by things that are aesthetic that please you, because it doesn't matter.